Hi friends, it's Claire from Scrappy Nerd UK, and today I have a layout share for you. So I've been on the Quirky Kits design team for the last three boxes, and I thought I'd share the layouts I'd actually made just to share a bit of inspiration with you. So the first kit that I had, these are the layouts that I created. So I did this one with a stitched heart and then the stamping off. I'd masked this area and sort of stamped off. There is a process video for this one. Have a look in the playlist. You should be able to find this one. So I love how this one turned out. Next I did this one. I love my grid layouts. You see quite a lot of grid layouts from me. It's one of my go-to designs, and I love the stacking of papers on this. So it's a great way to use up scraps of paper. And yeah, this is how it finished. It's quite heavy though because there's quite a bit of paper on it. That's fine. Next I did this one, and I generally work on white backgrounds, but this one I sort of took the plunge and I went and used almost all of the patterned paper from the kit, and I just pulled in some of I absolutely love these dream catchers, and I just pulled some of those in. And yeah, this is layout number 3 from that kit. Layout number 4 was this one in a 9x12 format, and again these die cuts came in the kit, and I just found some coordinating thread which I stitched around each of the hearts, and this is one of my favourite ones from the kit from our friend's wedding. And this one here, so this is the wood frame from American Crafts that also came in the kit, and again I loved how this turned out. So this is my closest friends in one layout, including me and my husband. And again, I want to frame this one and put this on the wall in my craft room. And then finally, I took inspiration from the sticker sheet that we got, and it was Planners Gonna Plan, and I'm an absolute massive stationery nerd. I think most of us crafters are, to be honest. So I had this photograph done in the paper chase. We went to London for my birthday last year. That was my choice wanted to visit the big paper chase on, I think it's Tottenham Court Road. And yeah, so I took inspiration from this and this photograph that I'd already printed. And yeah, created this layout with it. So I got six layouts out of the first kit. I still had plenty left over in terms of scraps of paper, so I just put those in my scraps bin, and I was already sat on top of the next kit coming in. So first of all, this is an 8.5 by 11 layout, and I did this one. Strange, I managed to take my kit away and I did this one in a hotel room, and I was so pleased with how this came out with having very little supplies with me. So I just fussy cut out a couple of the Project Life cards that came in the kit, and I used those as embellishments. I cut out the clouds from the pocket cards, and I used the branding strip for my journaling, and just use this captured journaling card, and use the little alphas that came on the sticker sheet as well. And that's pretty much it on this layout. Layout number 2, so most of the kit we got on this one was from Jilly Bean Soup. This one's titled We Found a Waterfall. It's a photograph of my husband stood in front of a waterfall that we had an arduous trek to get to. This one here is, I took this from a sketch, or adapted a sketch for this one. I was desperate to get my circle punch out and actually get some use out of it, so I did this one. Nice little circle photo accented by a small little round doily, and then just a couple of embellishment areas. And these Nouveau crystal drops are amazing, and these came in the kit as well. This one here is Too Much Sun, and I'd been out for the day and I didn't realise that I'd actually got sunburn. It didn't feel that hot, but I always like to document everyday moments like this. This design itself was very simple to do. I got a dinner plate, I drew around it a few times to create the black lines, and then I just created some embellishments all the way around with adding in some of the Nouveau crystal drops here and there as well. A couple of the little tiny word stickers from the sheet and camera, and I used the Nouveau drops on the little camera lens as well, and a little tab there that says ouch. So that was layout number 4. Layout number 5, again going back to the grid layout but changing it slightly with having a strip at the bottom. This one's called Holiday Adventure, and I absolutely loved, and I think these were from Freckled Fawn in the kit. These I'm not too sure what they're called, perspex. And again, yeah, I love this one. I love the colours from the cards that we got in the kit as well. So yeah, this is layout number 5. Layout number 6 was this one here. I wanted to keep it very simple. Quality of the photo wasn't brilliant. It was taken in low light, and so I wanted to use the colour in the embellishments to actually decorate the page. So very simple, just a strip of this paper with the hearts on. I did different stitching using my sewing machine, different stitching, and then I had just 3 areas of clusters. And then finally, I have gone through a mass of loving black cardstock layouts. So this one here, when I saw this this pattern paper, I believe it's from Bella Boulevard, I knew it had to be fussy cut. So I wanted a big cluster down here, a small one up here, and I was going to locate my photo in the middle. And I just used some of the pocket page cards or the custom cards, layered them up and created this. And I even got to use one of my brads from my stash, and who uses brads anymore, but that went perfect in the center of that flower. And yeah, just the colors from the pink from here, coupled with the yellow from the cards, and it just all ties it in together. So I was really pleased with how this turned out. And then I just added some white Heidi Shine splatters because it looked a bit bare in the black areas. So that was layout number 7 from that kit. And then from this month's kit, I think I've got 9 layouts, so I seem to be increasing how many I'm doing every month. So this one here, I took inspiration from, there was a lot of black and white in this kit, and that's perfect for me because I do print most of my photos in colour. So this one here, I'd already cut apart a sheet of loads of little sentiments, and I had a couple of these left that didn't fit on the other layout, and these were yellow, and there was a yellow tag in the ephemera pack, and I thought, right, I'll make it a black and yellow white layout, and especially with the flare that came in the kit as well. So just these two photographs of some Spider-Man tattoos that we'd bought my nephew, and we had to convince him to try them out, and they were safe and they weren't going to hurt him by actually having Spider-Man tattoos put on our skin. So this one here, I need to still journal on this, and I will go back. Number 2 was this, and I took inspiration from the paper that had all of the lettering on like this, so I cut all of these out. My title on here was The Usual Suspects. And this is a photograph of me and my work colleagues from last year. I just randomly bought a toilet roll downstairs, and we started wrapping people up in it. So we tried to think of as many inventive ways that we could use toilet paper, and this is what I ended up with. So I just did a stitched border in the white jelly roll pen that came in the kit, used some of the gorgeous sequins that came in this month's kit as well, and also one of the chalkboard tags that was in this month's kit also. Then this one here, please don't look, and if you find it offensive, then I do apologise. We were messing around with a modelling balloon, and my friend put it somewhere she probably shouldn't have done. So again, I took inspiration from the same paper. I had these all cut out, and I couldn't think of any words that I could make with them that would give me a title. So I thought I'd stick them in a circle in a random order, make this title I Have No Words. And again, I just used some of the branding strip around the edges, added on a couple of the Heidi Swap bows, which I've used all of them, they've all gone, and again just some sequins here and there to decorate it. And this was layout number 3. Layout number 4 was this one, back to a grid design. So I used 3x4 cuts of the pattern papers in the black, the white and the grey, and I just used the green or the teal colour just to accent. So the photograph, the journaling, the date, the title, and then just a couple of decorative ones. So I was really pleased with how this one came out. So that was layout number 4. Layout number 5 was this one. So this is going back to the paper that I cut apart. The black ones, I just cut them into squares. Black areas, I just used the jelly roll pen just to give it some outline, just to help it stand out a bit. I used the ephemera, the little grey hearts from the ephemera pack, and added those on, and just a single strip down here. It looked a bit bare when I didn't have anything this side, so filled it up with some of this paper. And again, I just cut down one of the chalkboard tags. It had a decorative edge, but I cut it down to a square and added a little bow and my title. This is layout number 6. This is one of my favourite layouts. So this is again on some black cardstock. Very simple, very clean. I used some of the tissue paper from the kit to make a ruffled edge all the way down underneath this strip of paper. I added in some of the silver star sequins. My dogs actually collectively, they both hate bath time, and I snapped this with her in the bath, and yeah, just telling the story of that. Love this this silver bow from Heidi Swap. I might have to go and buy some more of those. And just added one of the little cards to add my journaling. Again, matted some more of that tissue paper underneath, and this was layout number 6. So layout number 7, I might have done 10 actually. Layout number 7 was this one. So I just grabbed my circle punch. Now I had some offcuts of these papers and they were just too small all to use as layers behind the photos. So I just got my circle punch out and I punched out a 2-inch circle out of multiple bits of paper, and then I just layered them in 3 rows across, and that was going to create my layered paper behind. I added one of the chalkboard tags on, and rather than journaling on it this time, I added the title, which is So Lucky. I still got journaling to go back and add on some of these at the moment, but at the time the journaling just didn't come to me, so I will go back and do that. And I just did a scatter of star sequins, and the best way to get the best scatter is just to pick them up and drop them, and wherever they land is where I stick them down. Layout number 8, this is one of my favourite ones. This is a photograph of me and my friend's youngest daughter. And this one here, again, there was a cut apart paper with all of these words on. So I just used this to create almost a vertical strip down this side. Now there was some flowers on some of the pocket page cards, and I just fussy cut those out. I added some embroidery floss behind it. So layout number 9 is this one here. And I was sort of coming to the end of the kit, and I had loads of the star sequins left, some of the iridescent ones, and I also had these wood buttons, the wood star buttons, and this white and silver twine. And I had this photograph of my nephew fast asleep, and I just thought it'd be perfect to do a sort of a shooting star layout. So I just made a hole here and made a hole here and just threaded it through, and then you'll see that I've just taped it down on the back with some washi tape. Now I had run out of this twine, so I did pull in some silver from my stash, and I added my title, Wish Upon a Star. I just layered it twice with some vellum behind, nothing fancy, and then I just went over in the gaps with the white jelly roll pen and added some hand-drawn stars in as well, and I was really pleased with how this one came out. These are the alphas from Heidi Swap from the kit as well, and again I had enough letters to write Wish Upon a Star. This star, the thickers for this actually came from my stash because I didn't have enough S's, but I did have enough left to write Dream, so I added that up there as well, and that's layout number 9. And then finally this is layout number 10. So this one, I have the We Are Memory Keepers frame punch board. So I punched 4 frames, and that really did finish off the papers for me. And I just backed, I had this card that said dreams really do come true. So I used that behind this one. I just used some of the paper that says I love you to the moon and back behind this one. I used another paper, the cloud one behind this one, and then the photograph in this, and then I just overlapped them all. I pulled in the Heidi Swap alphas that says you are 1 in a million, added in some of the enamel dots, so some of the triangles and some of the hearts, 2 of the Heidi Swap bows, and a few of the tiny word stickers. And probably out of everyone, this is my favourite, I think. And I cut a small 1-inch strip off of each side, and I had actually gutted the paper so I didn't lose a whole sheet. And yeah, this is the finished layout. So I hope you've enjoyed my layout share for the last 3 quirky kits. If you have any questions, then do feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.